Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be previewing match day 2 of the Champions League group stage, and I'm going to chat about the games and going over what I think is going to happen in match day 2. Let's get into it. Right then guys, so here we go then. We're going to do it in group order from A to H. We kick off on Tuesday, 8 o'clock kick off there. We've got Liverpool taking on Ajax at home. Ajax, of course, you can see the last week's results here. They got a really impressive opening win against Rangers. And Liverpool, they got a thumping really off Napoli away from home. So it could be a bit of an interesting one, this, especially, Liverpool have not sort of had the chance to right the wrongs. Obviously, the games in the Premier League were postponed last week, so they might still be a bit hurting from that Napoli defeat. It could be a bit of an interesting game, really. Ajax, I think they're going to have to do a lot to get something from Anfield, of course. It's a really tough place to go. The European teams especially find it really difficult going to Anfield and getting anything. I do think this will be a tight game though, because like I say, they've not had that chance to sort of get back into the groove a bit, Liverpool. I'm going to go with a narrow Liverpool win, I think, for this one. I'm going to go 2-1. I think it'll be a tight game, but I think they'll just get over the line in the end, Liverpool, in this game. So next up, the other game in Group A, we've got Rangers taking on Napoli at Ibrox. Obviously, disappointing opening game for Rangers last week, 4-0 beating to Ajax, so they'll bounce back from that. But yeah, Napoli will be looking to put a stamp on that group, hammering Liverpool at home really, so bit of an interesting one really. I fancy Napoli to get something at Ibrox, if I'm honest. I just don't feel like Rangers are strong enough. I think we've seen in that Ajax game that they've probably not got what's needed really at this level. I can see them getting a beating. I'm going to go 2-0 to Napoli in this game. I just think they're going to have too much for Rangers. And I can see an even worse start to the group for Rangers coming up. So we'll calculate them results, and as we can see, we've got Napoli and Ajax, top two in the group. Liverpool just missing out on the goal difference, I believe, although I think it comes down to head-to-heads anyway in the Champions League. But yeah, that's how Group A, I think, will look after them games. Moving on then to Group B, we've got the Bayer Leverkusen Atletico group. We've got Leverkusen taking on Atletico in the opening group game of match week 2 for this group. I think that's on the Tuesday as well. It is, yeah. Bayern Leverkusen, poor opening performance against Bruges away. You probably expect them to get something really, but yeah, it wasn't to be. They didn't really show anything. So Atletico, they set up quite defensively at the best of times. They're going to go to Leverkusen and probably do the same. But I say they set up defensively, they're just really well organised, and it can come off a bit boring at times. They do score goals, as we can see, they did against Porto. But yeah, it can come off a bit boring. I think they'll go to Leverkusen, set up really strong at the back. I can fancy them nicking a 1-0 win, to be fair. Maybe Griezmann, someone like that, popping up. Obviously, it'll have to be after the 60th minute, though. But yeah, I fancy Atletico going to Leverkusen and getting something. And I think they'll get a 1-0 win. Porto against Bruges then in the next game. Bruges, they'll be buzzing after their opening week against Leverkusen, getting a strong result there. Porto really unlucky not to get anything at Atletico. That 100 and odd minutes, Atletico got the winner. But I do fancy Porto to get something at home. I think home field advantage will be key in this game. Bruges, they might get a few results at home, but yeah, I think they'll struggle a bit on the road. I'm going to go over Porto win. I'm going to go 2-0. I just think they'll have a bit too much for Bruges in the end, and yeah, I think that'll be a 2-0 win for them. So we'll calculate that group, guys, and that leaves Atletico top of the group on 6 points. Porto and Bruges both on 3, but Porto obviously being, I think, on the goal difference there, it's saying they'll be in second. So that's how I think it'll look after match day 2 for them, guys. Moving on then to Group C. And we've got the group of death. So yeah, as we can see, last week Pilsen got off to a bad start. Bayern Munich got a really good result away at Inter Milan. This week then we've got Pilsen taking on Inter Milan, and to be fair, I don't see Pilsen really sort of improving on last week. Inter Milan, they'll be a bit frustrated after a home defeat to Bayern. They're probably going to come out fighting. I'm going to go quite a convincing win for Inter. I'm going to go 3-0. I can't see Pilsen getting anything from any of these guys really, so yeah, I think a strong win coming for Inter Milan. Lautaro Martinez probably doing a bit of damage in that one. The 8 o'clock kickoff then in that group, we've got Bayern taking on Barca, the big game within this group really. If you go off sort of recent years, Bayern Munich at home in this one against Barca. Both got off to a really good start last week. Both look really strong. Tough one to predict really. Lewandowski's obviously going to his old club. That'll be a big game for him. I do fancy Bayern, if I'm honest. I just think they're going to be quite strong this year. The addition of Mane has really sort of improved them, and they just look unstoppable, if I'm honest. Mane, Sane, and that rolls off the tongue nicely. They've got a lot of other good players in there, of course. Goretzka, Kimmich, players like that. They're just really strong throughout. I think they're going to have too much for Barcelona. They're a good side, Barca, but they're sort of in that bedding in period, whereas Bayern, they only bring in 1 or 2, but they get them in straight away and they sort of bed in really quickly. I think Bayern are a more stable outfit for me, and I'm going to get them. I think they'll get off to a good win. I've got another good win in this group. I'm going to go 2-0 again. I just think they'll have that bit too much for Barca. Let's calculate that then, guys, and that's got Bayern top of the group, Barcelona in second, Inter in third, and Victoria Pilsen in fourth. Moving on then to Group D, we've got Spurs' group. Last week they got off to a really good win against Marseille at home, you can see there. This week they've got Sporting Lisbon away on the Wednesday, that is, I believe. No, that's Tuesday still. They've got Sporting away on the Tuesday. Tough game really. Sporting obviously got off to a really strong win. Eintracht Frankfurt away. I don't think many seen that coming really. It's a good opener for Sporting. Tough one to predict really. Go with a 1-1 draw, I think. I think both sides, they'll probably look to sort of build on last week, and I think they'll just cancel each other out a little bit. I think Spurs will get a goal, and I think it'll be a draw. I'm going to go in all 1-1, which I don't think Spurs will mind, on the road against a decent side in Sporting. The other game in that group, we've got Marseille taking on Frankfurt. Frankfurt really poor in the opening game, as were Marseille really against Spurs. Marseille have done alright in the league, though they sit second in the league at the moment. So you'd think they'd do quite well. I think Sanchez is there, from what I've seen. I didn't actually know he'd gone there, but I think he usually does quite well in Europe. So I'm going to go 2-1 win for Marseille in this game, and I think they'll get off to a bit of a better start than they did in week 1. So I can see Marseille pinching that one. We'll calculate that then, guys, and that's got Sporting and Spurs, top 2, both on 4. Marseille going up to 3 points in third, and Frankfurt still pointless in fourth. So then we've got Group E, and this is Chelsea's group, of course. We've got AC Milan taking on Zagreb on the opening day. They didn't get off to a great start, AC. They drew on the opening day against Salzburg away. They'd probably been hoping for a better result than that. I think they should get off to they should put in a better performance this week. I fancy them at home against everyone in this group, to be honest. So I think they'll get away with this and with a good result. I'm going to go 3-1, I think, for AC in this game. Just think they'll be a bit too much for Zagreb. They'll be on a high after last week against Chelsea, of course, but I think AC will have a bit too much for them. Next up then, we've got Chelsea taking on Salzburg. Obviously, Graham Potter's first game at Chelsea. He'll probably have had a bit more time to sort of train with his players, a bit more time than he expected, of course, due to the postponements. I think you always get that new manager bounce, and I think they're going to get it, Chelsea. I fancy them against Salzburg. They have got a lot of young, exciting players, but I think Chelsea would just be that too much strong for them. I'm going to go 2-0 for Chelsea in that game. I think they'll get off to a good win. We'll calculate that, guys, and that puts AC top, Chelsea moving up to second, Zagreb in third, and RB Salzburg in fourth. Next up then, we've got Group F, and this is the group that contains Real Madrid and Celtic. Last week, obviously, Real Madrid went to Celtic, got a really good result. And Shakhtar shocked Leipzig, which I didn't see coming. Really good result for them, that. So this week, we see Celtic got Shakhtar. It's a really tough game. Tough place to go is Ukraine, especially at the moment. I think after that really good win against Leipzig, they'll be in high spirits, Shakhtar, and I think Celtic will be a bit shell shocked after last week. They'll obviously take a great army of fans to Ukraine. It's one of the early games on the Wednesday. This tough one to predict really. I'm gonna go for a narrow Shakhtar win. I think it'll be tight. I'm gonna go 2-1. I think. Just think they'll have a bit that too much for them, and I think they'll get a goal late on to win it, Shakhtar. But I can see it being a pretty good game, to be fair. They did alright against Madrid last week. Just ran out of a bit of steam in the second half, and Madrid ran away with it. But yeah, narrow win for Shakhtar for me. We've got Real Madrid taking on Leipzig at home then. You'd expect them to have too much for Leipzig. If they can't get over the line against Shakhtar at home, they're not going to go to the European champions and win, are they? Yeah, I'd expect a fairly comfortable win, really. I'm going to go... what should I go with? I'm going to go 4-1. I think they'll platinum. I think they're going to have too much. And another 4-1 defeat for Leipzig there, just noticed. But yeah, I think Real Madrid will be too strong for Leipzig and they'll come out comfortable winners. Update the table then. We've got Real Madrid 6 points, Shakhtar 6 points, and Celtic and Leipzig both winless, I think. And yeah, strong start for these two, and they'll look to run away with the group. Moving on then to Group G, we've got Manchester City's group, and this week they take on Borussia Dortmund at home at the Etihad. Of course, Erling Haaland playing against his old side, that'll be the big story in this one. City got off to a really good start, of course, away at Sevilla. They were just really too strong for them in the end, and yeah, I expect them to probably be a bit too strong for Dortmund. They've not started the best in the league, really. I think they're struggling for goals. You know, it's a bit of a shame what happened with Sebastian Haller. Obviously, he came in and was diagnosed with cancer, unfortunately. But Modeste, they brought in, I don't think he's sort of the strongest striker they've got. The strongest striker there is, sorry. But yeah, I think City will be too strong. I don't know what to say prediction-wise. I'll go 2-0. I don't think it'll be an absolute hiding, but just think they're going to have too much for Dortmund, if I'm honest. Next up then, Copenhagen taking on Sevilla. Could be an interesting one, this. Both sides didn't look brilliant on the opening day, let's be honest. But Copenhagen, you'd say, are probably the weaker out of the two. Sevilla, I don't know what they're like on the road. They are a bit unpredictable. They've got some good players in there. I do fancy them to get something off Copenhagen. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win. I think it'll be... not 21. I think it'll be a close game, but yeah, fancy Sevilla to get a result on the road at Copenhagen. So we'll calculate that then, and that's got City at top with 6 points, Dortmund and Sevilla on 3 points, and Copenhagen bottom on 0. Next up then, we've got the Paris Saint-Germain group at Group H, and opening day we see PSG beat Juve and Benfica got the better of Maccabi Haifa. This week we've got Juve taking on Benfica at home. Be a good game this, I think. Both pretty good sides. Yeah, I think this will probably be one of the better games of the week, if I'm honest. Juve, you know, they was probably a bit disappointed not to get back into that game. PSG sort of slowed down after they went 2 goals up. So yeah, I think could be a tight one this, you know. Benfica usually throw a bit of a spanner in the works sometimes, so I'm going to go for a draw, I think. I'm going to go 1-1. But yeah, just don't think Juve are going to get over the line in this one. I think they're going to take the lead early on, and then Benfica will battle away into it. And yeah, fancy Benfica to go there and get a point. Next, the other game in the group, then we've got Maccabi Haifa taking on Paris Saint-Germain, and straight up, you just expect PSG to go and do the business here. You can't see Maccabi Haifa getting much from any of these teams, really, especially after an opening game. Yeah, how many though? That's the question. I'll go 3-0 for PSG. Just think they're going to be too strong, to be honest. That front three is probably the strongest in the world, and yeah, you'd fancy them to do Maccabi Haifa quite comfortably, really. So there we go then, guys. That's how I think Group H will look. Paris Saint-Germain sitting in top, Benfica on 4 points, Juve third on 1 point, bit of a surprise, and Maccabi Haifa sat there in bottom. But yeah, that's all the predictions for this week, guys, in Matchday 2 of the Champions League in the group stage. And yeah, that's all for this. Right then, guys, that's all for today's video. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen in Matchday 2 of the Champions League group stage. Do you think City are going to get off to another good win? Should I say, against Dortmund? How do you think Chelsea are going to get on this week? Liverpool as well, against Ajax at home. Will it be tough for them, or will they go back to winning ways? As always, guys, if you have enjoyed the video, please drop a like on it. Appreciate the support at the moment. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you later.